recording.
This time, or do we just...
No, we 100% do the intro,
okay.
But we have to do it properly.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lucy.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Oh, I forgot. My alarm's going off.
Oh. So Lucy always has alarms for everything. She won't just use like normal reminders. She will use alarms that will then go off, and it will just have like the most brief description of what she needs to do when that alarm is gone off. Just use reminders. You could put full-blown descriptions, set it at the right time,
Yeah,
it'll give you different...
It doesn't like go, do it, it's just like, do it.
Yeah,
and I won't get that.
But it is so persistent. It's like one of those really persistent, horrible exes that just won't leave you alone. And it stays as your notification on your screen until you turn it off.
Tell me you have undiagnosed ADHD without telling me you have undiagnosed ADHD. I'll go first.
Lucy does.
So lots happened since we last spoke.
A hell of a lot.
A hell of a lot.
We've got a lot to crunch into today.
Everyone's getting married left, right and centre.
That's so true. We were almost a little bit like, so I wonder like how much can go on in a week, but...
A lot can go on in a week. We also are a week behind because I was on my deathbed.
Just had a little bit of tonsillitis, guys. Let's not be dramatic.
No, when I tell you I felt like I was on my deathbed, I genuinely was on my deathbed.
Well, at least you're alive. Resurrected in the most stunning way, can we say. Glam team on fleek.
AKA me.
Love it.
So, first person that got married, Danny Dyer.
She did. The People's Princess.
Everyone claps for Danny Dyer.
The People's Princess got married.
She did. You know a bit more about this one than I do.
Yes, so she got married at Langley Hotel in Buckinghamshire, which shocked me because having a hotel wedding, people can just be like flouncing around, like you could just be there with like all of your guests. And
surely she would have hired the whole hotel though.
So she didn't do exclusive use from what I found out, but what she did do is hire an external marquee to put in the grounds, which the grounds are beautiful. And when I say a marquee, it isn't like a white, dirty marquee. It was one of those glass, like, installation marquees. Have you seen them?
Oh, like a conservatory?
Basically, like a big conservatory with, like, the black steel in between, and It was absolutely gorgeous. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
But one thing that I did want to mention is that now we all know I love a bit of a monochrome moment. That's very much what I want to do for my wedding. But... sorry. My foot's going crazy and I'm shaking all the
Earthquake!
Right, no, sorry. Yeah, what I did want to mention is that, yes, I love a monochrome moment, but I hate to say it, but it felt very done. It felt very not fresh. It felt very like if someone was to pick a monochrome Pinterest board, she basically just said, that's what I want.
I must say... it did give me like average Essex wedding. Like there wasn't anything about her wedding that I was like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. Oh my god, that's stunning. There was no oh my god moment. It was just a wedding.
Yeah. Which, it was Danny Dyer's wedding and it was absolutely fabulous and it looked very luxurious, looked all of those things. But I just think there was nothing out of the ordinary that I thought, incredible.
Did she sell her wedding? Who did anyone get the exclusive?
I don't know, maybe okay, but then I also haven't seen that because that's quite a big thing.
No,
I don't think it's what it used to be though.
No.
Would you sell a wedding? To like a magazine?
If they were paying for it, yeah.
That's the thing, so when they sell these weddings, does the magazine pay for like a lot of the stuff?
So the magazine, I think it either works that the magazine will either pay for the exclusive photos and they're basically their photographer for the day, or they'll pay for the wedding. So I think Katie and Peter Andre, their wedding was paid for.
Yeah, but I think they must have had like 60 news outlets there.
Yeah, but then I think someone like Victoria and David Beckham, so their wedding exclusive was with OK Magazine. They, I think, I'm not sure if OK paid for their wedding or they like paid for the exclusive photos.
which
to
would,
use first.
in theory, pay for that wedding.
I'm not 100% sure how it works anymore.
I don't know if I would. I think I'd only pay, well, not pay my wedding, I would only sell my wedding to Vogue.
Yeah. Well,
I would need that high-end, like...
Yeah, well, I was very surprised that Demi Lovato sold her, I can't remember who it was to, but sold her wedding.
Really? Well, it was in the US and maybe like People magazine.
Yeah, maybe.
So that's
like,
quite
and
hot.
it was like excuse, which really surprised me.
Her wedding as well, can we just take a moment to say all of those outfit changes? What did you think about them?
I really liked them.
Big.
I also really liked that she did a suit.
And me, I love a suit,
I love that she did a suit.
I feel like we're in this day and age where suits aren't just for 50-year-olds anymore.
No.
If you're a older person, you want to get married and you want one of those silk suits, go for it. But also, if you're in your 20s or 30s...
Well, it was really nice, insert photo on screen here, because it was like plunge. So she didn't have anything on underneath the like suit jacket, which I think maybe she had a necklace on, I can't 100% remember, but she was very like old... Hollywood glam.
I feel like with a suit, like let's say like your bridal suit, you can't then wear a button-up shirt. Like you would have to go plunge, nothing underneath, real stiletto, pointy toe shoes, and you'd have to really elevate it like that. I feel like you couldn't do... I mean, Zendaya at the Met Gala 2025 when she did the white silk suit with white button-up, but it was a little bit more...
That was the theme though.
Yeah, it was a little bit more like that. So it can be done nice, but I just feel like you don't just have to be 50 to wear a suit to your wedding. You can be 30.
You could even be 29.
Or 29. Yes, going back to Danny Dyer, I think it was a nice wedding, nothing much splash.
No.
Dad Danny Dyer, moustache. What in the Mr. Potato Head is he doing?
I didn't see that.
You couldn't miss it!
He's trying, next thing you know, he'll come out with a mullet and try and be a mullet daddy.
I feel like he hasn't really got much hair to do that though. But, I'm not joking, the moustache was so thick and I feel like it was such beautiful moments with her and her dad because they are obviously so close and they're like the people's, like, people love them. But the moustache just took it away. Look.
Jesus Christ, he's got a brush above his lip.
Size of it! That, I feel like underneath is rashy.
He looks like the Pringles guy.
Yes, he does!
Anyway. Megan McKenna.
Megan McKenna. You mentioned the other day you thought she was already married.
I thought she was already married.
I mean, she may have already got married, but this is the first we've seen of like pictures and stuff like that. So I do think this is her wedding. She got married at Grantley Hall, North Yorkshire, which is a stunning, stunning, huge, stately home. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's like a 5-star luxury hotel again, but I imagine she did exclusive use for this one.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. It was really, really nice. She had a really big, huge princess dress moment for her main ceremony. Her bridesmaids were in...
Mason Peter Langer. Gown.
Is that who? Oh, yeah, nice.
It was
okay.
all hand embroidered, like the top.
Really?
The top of her. So she had like the massive. Sorry, I talk with my hands, so you can hear the mic. She had the massive, long, flowy skirt, and then the top was all hand embroidered roses.
Gorgeous. The only thing I didn't like is her veil. She did that very like 50s puffed up veil at the top. You could see she went super traditional with it. Didn't really love it, but I love the dress.
Again, the dress was nice, but I was underwhelmed. Do you know what I mean? People are getting lazy with their dresses. Like, Demi Lovato was a Vivienne Westwood, I assume. Don't quote me on that, but it looked like a Vivienne.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. Everyone and their mum had a Vivienne Westwood gown last year. Danny Dyer's simple, elegant. Her makeup was simple, elegant. She looked like... PSA, they all looked absolutely gorgeous. This isn't me saying you looked like absolute rubbish. This is me just saying there was nothing that I was like, wow.
I agree. I think with all of the weddings that I've sort of been around for the past week...
Everyone's basic.
Do you know what I think it is? Is that everything has been done and we have seen incredible weddings, so everything's already been done.
Everyone's doing like...
I don't know what could be new.
I would call clean girl looks at their wedding, so like the slick back.
Yeah.
With like the basic like simple gown.
Yeah.
I'm all for a simple gown, but as Kylie Jenner, is it Kylie Jenner said, why be simple? No, Nicki Minaj. Why be simple when you can be stunning? Do you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing, like, added to their gown. Like, even, like, if Danny Dynasty had that basic gown, but then had, like, a veil with, like, lace at the end.
Are you okay? Do you want to check that?
I'm just checking. Hello? Oh, she's fine. She's fine.
It's on hat.
You okay down there? Cool. Like, even, like, a veil with, like, a lace trim, or, like, if she had a bouquet that was, like, a, like, draping bouquet. Like, just something to elevate it, but it was all kind of just, like, eh.
So, for Megan McKenna's second dress for her reception, she had a silk, very, like, old-fashioned dress, very Daphne Bridgerton. Do you know that shape, that square neckline? Yeah. It's got the really short bust area and it just goes straight down, A-line. She had a very Daphne Bridgerton.
That's called something and I can't remember
what it's called. But she mixed it with tall gloves.
Was it a drop waist?
No, drop waist is when it's low.
Yeah.
No, don't know what that one's called.
I love a glove.
But she mixed it with tall gloves, which tall gloves are really hot. We love tall gloves.
Lace tall gloves. Smack me.
Big sense.
So like, I was gonna say, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean, cheeky. Also as well, Megan
McKenna.
Like
What the hell? Like, what the hell?
What the hell, Auntie?
I just like, anyway.
Megan McKenna also, her bride, so everything was very monochromatic, very light colours, everything like that. She had her bridesmaids in a chocolate brown satin gown, which is really nice. Her second outfit, big slay. And she also, which is old-fashioned but very new at the moment, not new, but everyone's doing it, Lambeth cakes, which is the old traditional icing, and they're all white. She had a 7-tier one, which, girl, she brought the drama. There's no 3-tier cakes around here, 7. Could you just imagine you're at your wedding though, and your cake just starts slipping over, like Sleeping Beauty? Do you know when, like, the fairies are making the cake? And they have to cover it up with the broom.
I don't recall.
I was a Disney child.
I don't recall the bit.
Do you not? But yeah, like that, I could just imagine. Imagine having 7 tiers and it, like, falls on.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Well, that's a wedding fail.
That is a wedding fail.
Which is what we're about to go into, gang.
We are talking about, I was going to say dating disasters. Not dating disasters, wedding disasters.
Wedding disasters. Wedding fails.
Wedding fails, wedding mishaps, wedding hoo-has.
I do's to, oh no, he didn't.
I do's to, I don't think so.
Well, basically it's for better or for what the fuck.
For what the hell?
For what the hell?
What the helly?
What the helly, auntie?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Anyway. So we have had people submit. We've also looked and found some of our own, some wedding. I keep wanting to say dating disasters. Some wedding fails, wedding disasters. So we
some cringe-worthy things that can happen at your wedding, wedding fails, wedding just absolute misery. How to get over it, how to deal with it.
What to do, what not to do, what you could get away with, what you couldn't get. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't know what stories each other have. So these are live, raw, real reactions. We're getting this in 4K real time.
We love it.
So do you want to go first or should I go first?
So I'll go first because my first one is very short, but it's honestly, when you can picture it, it's an absolute disaster.
Okay.
So it's a story that I found online. Okay, and it says...
Are we sitting comfortably? Okay.
Are we sitting? Sitting pretty?
Sitting pretty.
So, well, to be honest, straight out the gate is just absolute. So, I had severe diarrhea whilst my fiance read his vows. The liquid shit literally flew out of me and down my dress. When I ran off to get changed, the tail of my dress left a streak of poo down the aisle for everyone to see.
How shitty.
What a shit time. She had a shit time.
She did not have a good day.
Like, severe diarrhea. Imagine.
What made her have severe diarrhea?
I don't know. Top tip, guys. Don't eat anything funny the day before your wedding. High fibre, nice plain foods. Nothing's going to upset your belly. If you've got IBS, don't play with the spicy stuff.
I actually don't think I'd get married. I'd have to leave.
So unfortunately, I don't have a conclusion for this. It's literally just a little snippet. So we don't know what happens after. But what would you do? Would you just call it off?
Wait, so when did the shit start?
So I had severe diarrhea whilst my fiance read his vows. So whilst they were at the altar, she obviously felt bubble guts. And then she just completely.
Do you know what? I think that's a sign
out.
that her fiance wasn't a very good man.
Why
her body had that reaction to his vows.
So yeah, so these wedding fails and these wedding disasters that we're going to speak about today, are they omens? Because some people really work through them and just think,
that tells me you're going to have a shitty marriage.
Just mind the pun. She had a shit time. What a shit wedding.
I would have had to fully stop the wedding if I'm shitting myself.
But it's the fact that when she was going back down the aisle to go and get changed, it's obviously come down her dress out in a trail. She snail trailed down the aisle.
A trail of flowers. She had a trail of shit.
Poo. Actual
human feces.
Poo poo.
Boo boo.
What the hell?
No, I'm sorry.
So I just want to start off with that one because it's nice and short.
I don't think any of mine are that good.
Stop it! Yeah. Honestly, what would you do? But yeah, top tip, guys, just make sure that you eat clean food the day before. Yeah. Nothing worse than having
diarrhea. On your wedding day.
Yeah, that must have been really severe.
Oh, imagine projectile vomiting. That would be crazy.
Horrendous. Digressing, but there was this one Christmas that the night before I had salt and pepper prawns from the Chinese.
Well, that's where your first mistake happened.
Yes. So, family thing, we always have a Chinese Christmas Eve. Woke up at like 3:00 in the morning, Christmas Day, projectile vomiting, bad belly, literally like it was the worst time of my life. And it was just the worst day. So basically, and then obviously mum cooks the turkey like the night before or like in the morning. So I woke up in the morning and every single time I got like the whiff upstairs into my bedroom of the food cooking, I would be sick. And it was just, she was like cooking lamb, and as lamb being cooked anyway, it's absolute foul smell.
Any meat being cooked is foul smell.
We're speaking to a vegetarian, sorry. Yeah, and every time I had the whiff of food, I started crying. And it was the worst time of my life, worst Christmas. So yeah, digressed. But yeah, don't eat nice food before your wedding. What would you do? So what would you do? Would you call your wedding off?
Oh, absolutely.
All the money, though, that you spent.
I don't want to be, like, imagine it just keeps going. You're, like, doing your first dance. Beat drops and poop just...
You would have to... No, you'd have to stick a cork in it or something.
A cork?
Pop the champagne.
Pop the bottle. You'd be on the toilet. Oh, where's the bride? Oh, she's just having to sit down, cut to her, like,
but to be honest, like, it's a human thing. Everybody does it.
It is natural. Everybody poops, but not at the altar on your wedding day.
Not at the altar on your wedding day, all the way down your dress, and left a snail trail streak of shit down the aisle.
Right, enough about shit.
Right, enough of that. Talking shit.
I don't know which one to start with.
Get the cue cards, guys.
Wait, where is it? Oh, here we go. I'm going to start with this one because I read this one and I was a bit shocked. Okay. I'm just going to read this. My best friend had a beautiful wedding. I was her maid of honour, even though everyone on earth was telling her not to marry that man at such an early age, myself included. young bride. Ceremony went great. Later that night, I got a text. She was panicking. He had asked her to record their first time and sell it online. She was a total virgin, hadn't ever seen a naked man before that night. She ran, zoom. Then because she wouldn't, he hired a woman who would. They're still trying to work out a divorce.
What?
Crickets.
Crickets? So she was a virgin.
So she obviously got married young.
Yeah.
And was a virgin.
Mm.
Then the guy she married on their wedding night wanted them to record their first time and sell it online. What
a weird thing to request.
So strange.
Bamboozled. Ew,
but then because she wouldn't do it, he hired a woman to do it. Someone else.
Had sex with him on the wedding
day? He then because she wouldn't.
What's going on in the House of Commons?
He hired a woman who would.
Ew. Beat that man to the curb. So was he a virgin?
I'm assuming not.
Okay. Oh, that's strange. That's
so strange.
Ugh.
Imagine marrying someone you think is the love of your life, and then, especially as like a virgin, and then you're like excited to have your first time with your husband.
And he wants to sell it.
And the first thing he says is, "Well, I want to record it and sell it." Someone's got to pay for our honeymoon, hun.
What? No, I don't like that. That's horrendous.
So bad, isn't it? I read that and I was like, what the hell? What the fuck?
What the helly?
What the helly?
So, my next one.
Okay.
Love a TikTok comment section.
I feel like they are comment section.
Gold. Apart from, do just want to preface this by saying I was scouring TikTok and like there's that trend. It's like, I'm bored, tell me the most unhinged wedding story. I don't just mean your flowers got lost. I mean like crazy. And people would just not.
Like, oh my god, someone ate my cake before I cut it.
Yeah, which disaster. I agree, but that's not like unhinged.
Yeah, you must have a very boring life.
This comment section. My husband and I went to his cousin's wedding and we realised that she arranged tables based on appearance, with the most attractive in the centre where most of the photos were taken. I was angry at first. I thought she should have put all the cousins at one table, but she even split up sisters and put the 21-year-old alone in the back and the other dead centre. She's a model gorge. Same wedding, had one single buffet during cocktail and no one could get to it because the space was too small for all the guests. So basically, the couple put all the good-looking people in the centre of the room. But imagine walking into a wedding breakfast, noticing that the fact of all the good-looking people are in the middle. Could you imagine if you were put at the back?
I mean, it would make it easy to find the fit one.
Yeah, if you go into a wedding to find your new husband, you know he was in the dead centre.
But then also, if you were put in the middle,
like,
say less.
I would totally be in the middle. We would totally be in the middle. I would like to think.
I'd be smack bang in the centre.
Yeah.
Like, hey. Is it weird that I kind of get it?
Oh, so I don't like it because you shouldn't be vain like that.
My thing is though, oh my god, I can't say it.
Go on.
I would, instead of doing that, I'd just make sure there were at least two good-looking people on every table.
Every table. Yeah, but it's that like one of the things you think
but
about.
Everyone's good-looking. Looks is subjective.
Yeah.
We're all beautiful in our own way.
Yeah.
You are beautiful
in every single way. Words can bring you down. No. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah, so that is that one, which isn't a wedding fail or disaster, but imagine
I'd give it
as a
6 out of
guest.
10.
No, I know, but as a guest, imagine walking in and realising that was the case, and just imagine you were the one that was sat at the back. You'd feel really shit about yourself.
You would. Just get really drunk, wouldn't you?
You would.
Just go. Oh.
Do you want to go next?
Just have my stomach rumble.
It's pre-lunchtime, guys.
My stomach rumble.
We done a morning shift. We're stopping.
They don't feed us until we record. Mine just aren't as good. I couldn't find any good ones because, like you said, people were like this, and I'm
People
like,
just weren't unhinged enough.
not unhinged. People need to get crazy again. Do you know what I mean? So, the guy who was a DJ back in the day, he said the buffet was set up in the centre of the dance floor opposite the head table, with guests seated on either side, and my setup was at the far end of the dance floor, directly across from the head table. So the buffet was like between them. The caterers put sterno cans directly onto the paper cloths covering the buffet, and the whole thing went up in flames about 10 minutes after they were lit. The hall manager comes rushing in with a fire extinguisher, glances in one direction towards my thousands of dollars in equipment and in the other direction towards the head table, and proceeds to blast the bluest... there's a lot of bees. Blast the buffet flames, pointing the extinguisher right at the head table. Every dress, tux and hairstyle was ruined, to say nothing of all the food. So they had a fire extinguisher in the face on your wedding day.
I would rather burn. Shiny fire burning on the dance floor.
Whoa.
Literally.
Yeah. Crazy.
No, that's outrageous.
There was no flames on the head table. That's what he was saying. The flames were on the buffet.
And so do you think maybe they were rude to like the venue
Maybe
coordinator?
He thought, this is my chance.
Yeah. Maybe the event managers were like, they are so rude, and they thought, listen, it's go time, bitches.
It's go time.
Could you imagine? No, sorry.
Ruined.
That is a wedding disaster.
That is.
Disaster with a capital D.
Not only flames.
The extinguisher
foam. As well. So rather than just extinct, because the buffet was like in between them, he had to direct it one way or the other.
But
so he directed it towards the head table, which is why he's saying instead of directing it towards him where he had millions of dollars worth of equipment, and he thought, I don't want to ruin his equipment.
Yeah.
So instead I ruined the wedding day.
I mean, if you're in that moment, would you destroy the DJ stuff, or would you destroy someone's wedding?
I'd just let it go up in flames. Or wait, tell people to move. And then
surely there's like a fire.
Surely there was a commotion
thing. What's it called? Everybody get out on the forecourt, line up.
Oh, fire procedure.
Yeah, surely there's one of them. Not just let's get fire extinguishers.
I mean,
blow
I
it
doubt
into
that's the
places.
first thing you think of on your wedding day, though.
Well, you wouldn't just sit there and carry on eating. Be like, no, I want that chicken wing.
Drama. Big drama.
What a drama.
What a drama.
Right. This is my final and last one.
Okay, I don't have any more.
Okay, cool. So this is the final and last one for wedding.
Wait, let me prepare myself. Go.
Right, another one I found online. I went to a wedding in a huge manor house on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The house was lit up by big floodlights in the floor pointing up at the house. When it got dark, some guests ran inside to the bar and shouted at people to come outside and look. A man and a woman who met for the first time at the wedding were having sex below one of the floodlights, but didn't realise that their gyrations were being projected 50 feet high onto the side of the house. The perfect shadow of two people having sex.
I knew that was going there. As soon as you said floodlights, I went, why do I feel like I know where this is going to go?
So imagine...
Puppet show.
Puppet show! They have literally gone, like, scurried off. They met each other at the wedding.
Like, no one's drunk enough to not realise.
I mean, have you seen some people at weddings?
I mean, yeah.
They get crazy out here. So yeah, they were basically having sex, and it was projected, like, the shadow onto the side of the whole manor house. What would you do if that was you? One, I wouldn't do it.
One,
but
it wouldn't.
But two, just, oh my God. Imagine how coy they would be.
You'd have to firm it. You'd
have to
just keep going, finish. And you would have to firm it. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's seen now. So you'd have to come back out because everyone's going to realise it was you. And you'd have to be like, you're welcome.
Did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, like you'd have to firm it.
I don't know. I think I would keep rolling off the cliff.
You'd have to either firm it or you'd have to leave.
I wouldn't. I'd roll off that cliff and scurry away into the midnight.
Or just be like, that wasn't me. What do you mean? That was rabbit.
Or like what you said, you could just say, I was just giving you a puppet show.
Yeah.
It was a finger party.
It was the beginning of, because our reception is actually, our reception. Sorry, I just mean. You'd have to just be like, it's because our next part of the reception is welcome to the sex party.
I mean, that's great. We're both. Yeah, so that was my last and final one.
That's crazy.
Absolute
That's crazy.
disasters.
I'm sweating.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so hot in here.
It's
not just me.
No, I'm not going to sing that out.
Getting hot in
We're
here,
not
so
allowed.
hot, so take off all your clothes.
I am getting so hot. Do you know what? We are actually, as soon as we like put in like a studio, we're like music video.
I think we should shoot a music video. So what the hell?
Shall we do like a promo music video for Better for Worse the
No, I
Pod?
actually think we should.
But why don't you make your own song?
We did.
Shall
Did
we?
you not-
No.
really?
So yeah, Lucy on the end of the last one, we could like implement that into
For
it.
better.
For worse.
So we both end up in a hearse. You can use my purse. This love is not cursed. For better. For worse.
Right, so the next bit, I wanted to speak through a couple of things that can happen on your day. Wedding
Yeah.
disasters, wedding things, not typical things that can happen, but
Just how and what we can do to save them.
to save them, prevent
Save the
it.
day.
Maybe you haven't thought about this prior to your wedding.
One thing I will say, I'm just going to chime in here, just before you get into
You do,
it,
you boo.
is I think wedding disasters, a lot of them happen because people put unrealistic expectations on their day.
Big facts.
So then they're like, oh my god, I didn't have flying flamingos and 300 balloons fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, babe, you're getting married in the middle of Birmingham on a Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
what do you expect? Do you know what I mean?
Which, if you're doing that, that's absolutely
If you're
fine.
doing that, big up to you. Slay Birmingham. We've slated Birmingham.
It's so tight. So with the wedding fails and disasters, I want to agree with exactly what you just said. There's so many things that can happen. You put so much pressure on one day, it just being the most incredible day of your life. And if you've also got a wedding where there's doves flying in the ceremony, there's 16 speeches, you're doing fire breathers in the evening, there's this, that, and the other, you're also putting in so many things that could go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So just maybe be a little bit mindful of that before you do it.
If you've got a knife thrower, someone could get stabbed.
So let's go on a bit of
Don't throw stones in glass houses.
lesser of a disaster and a murder at a wedding. So wardrobe malfunctions,
Yes.
which can be anything. It could be someone steps on your veil before you're just about to walk down the aisle and a big hole rips into it. You're popping on your suit trousers and your zipper breaks. It could be you haven't steamed your shirt before you popped it on. All different things that can happen. And I think one thing that you can always make sure that you have before your wedding is a survival kit. Emergency kit. So have Wonder Web, have hairbands, paper clips, spare
Sewing
fabric, sewing kit. Spare fabric, I think,
Girls,
in terms of what you've got,
boob tape.
boob tape, a lip gloss.
Lip gloss.
Oh my god, there could be so many things. But in
So
terms of
many
wardrobe
things.
malfunctions,
Yeah.
have that emergency kit because anything can go wrong on the day.
Yeah, that is true. I also think, like, the week before, try everything on. Make sure you've got everything.
Without a doubt.
Make
Without
sure
a
you've got
doubt.
everything. Grooms, talking to you here, try your suit on. Make sure your groomsmen have suits. Make sure your groomsmen have shirts. Make sure they know where they are.
Make sure your trousers are tailored.
Oh my
One thing I
God.
hate is when you see a wedding happening and all the trousers are gathered so heavily at the bottom
Yeah.
before the shoes. And I just think they're
Like,
so not tailored.
You may feel
And-
6 foot, but you're 5'9".
So don't get the tall length
Do you know what I mean?
trouser, okay? Get the 32. Let's not try 32, 36. Also, take your phone out your pocket.
Yep.
Take your phones out of your suit trouser pockets. There has been so many wedding albums and so many weddings that I've seen. Great big iPhone 16 in the pocket.
Actually, a fun fact of the day
We
for
love
you.
to hear them.
Women's clothing has less pockets and smaller pockets, so that brands and things were able to sell them bags as well.
Totally makes sense. Because you take
why
away a solution so that you generate more revenue.
Which is why men can fit like the whole world and their mother in their pocket, and a girl can fit a lip gloss.
Yeah, it's so true. Like Apple, you can't charge your mouse to the Mac unless you turn it upside down and plug it in. Or now when phones come, they don't come with...
How did that have any relevance?
No, I'm talking about so you can't... Wait, no, that doesn't have any relevance.
That doesn't have any.
Okay, wait, my next one does. Do you know when your phone comes and you don't have a plug, so you have to buy another plug? You take away a solution.
It's called upselling.
Shall I go? No. Timing issues. So at a wedding, it's a very military operation. You've got ceremony at this time, drinks reception at this time, photos at this time, dinner, food court, everything. Now, prior to that, you've got the whole getting ready malark. However, in your wedding, as you think about your wedding, however much time you think you need, double it. Or put an extra half hour on. Have contingency times, have buffer times, so that if things do overrun or things are going a little bit mental in the morning and your hairstylist doesn't turn up for a couple of hours or this, that and the other, or all of your bridesmaids have run in before you can get your makeup and hair done. Just a bit like that. As well, timing disasters. Let's say the groom's late because he's had a couple of beers before. Typical. The ceremony overruns a little bit. That's if your registrar allows that to happen. And then that's late to get dinner called, all of those different things. Just make sure there's little buffers throughout the day, and make sure your venue coordinator or your wedding planner or you yourselves or anyone you've got in charge of sort of the runnings of the day, just make sure they've got that as well. That's my one thing that I would say.
Yeah.
So, next one, family dynamics.
Oh my God.
Which is a really, really tricky thing, I think, to deal with in a wedding.
I just think, you know, when your mum's like, oh, we've got to invite Simon, and you're like, who the hell is Simon?
Who's Simon?
And he's like, oh, it's your third cousin twice removed.
Like, well, that's not happening, Mum.
You've never met Simon. You didn't know Simon existed, but your mum wants you to invite him because she went to his wedding.
It's not happening, Mum.
It's not happening, Mum. I'm sorry. If I have not spoken to you in the past 2 years or since I've been in this relationship, you ain't getting an invite home.
I agree with that, and I think that's a thing that needs to be said.
You've got to remember, it's your wedding day, not your family's wedding day.
And I think obviously weddings were so traditional. It was very much,
you just invited your whole fam.
The whole fam came, the bride's parents paid for the whole shebang, like all of those different things. Traditions are out the window. I mean, some traditions are really, really nice and you stick with them, but that whole thing of inviting every single one of your family.
Yeah, because like, if I've never met them, why am I?
They're not coming.
Why are they coming there to watch me declare my undying love to my future husband or wife?
Not happening. So if, like, let's say one of your friends has said, I'm not going to come if you invite that person.
Don't come then. So
I believe that whoever it is giving you that ultimatum, you're not coming.
Well, no, because it's not about them.
People do think it's about them, though. So they think, if you cannot be sat in a room with somebody for a few hours...
Because you both have the, what's it called? Connection of your love for someone you love.
Yeah. If you can't be there for a few hours, just groom and bear it. Just get on with it and just sit in that room with them. Just get over it. Grow up.
You don't have to interact with that person.
Exactly. There's so many things you can do, apart from obviously sitting down and eating your dinner.
Like, obviously, if I know you like two of the people I'm invited don't like each other, I'm not going to sit them anywhere near each other.
Exactly. But if you're going to be that awful wedding guest and give the bride and groom an ultimatum, which they've already got so much on their plate anyway, you're not flipping invited.
You're NFI.
NFI. Not happening. So last one, really quickly, supplier no-shows. Could you imagine you have your whole team of suppliers and a couple just decide not to turn up on the day?
You best believe I'd be going and knocking on their door.
Yeah, but you're busy about to get married.
In my wedding dress, I am storming down there and I'm
I
like,
don't have it!
excuse me, did you forget about me? Where are you?
But supplier no-shows. So, like, if your cake lady double booked you and she doesn't turn up, or if your DJ's double booked and doesn't want to come, or your hairstylist is stuck in traffic, she isn't going to be there for 6 hours. Listen, no one's going to know if your cake's missing. Just have a champagne tower or pop a bottle. No one's really going to care.
Go to your local Actually, I'm not going to say. Go to your local superstore. No free promo here. Go to your local superstore. Just buy a plain white cake.
Get someone to do it for you. Stuff like that. So, tick that off. That's done. If a DJ doesn't turn up, everyone's got a playlist. Everyone loves a bit of DJ Day. He's even got them free on YouTube.
Yeah.
Pop them on.
Yeah.
There's always a bridesmaid who knows how to curl a bit of hair.
Yeah.
So if your hairstylists don't turn out, just have waves, love.
Or slick it back.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's wedding disasters and how
if your florist doesn't turn up, garage. Get some flowers.
No, M&S. No free promo.
Another
major superstore.
M&S can get free promo.
M&S flowers, stunning. Just fly someone out to M&S.
M&S Percy
Apart from
Pigs.
imagining if you're in the middle of nowhere and the florist doesn't turn up.
There'll be a field.
But do you think people would notice if you didn't have flowers?
I think so. What do you do with your hands?
But no, so many people have so many different things going on. Maybe that's a new trend. No flowers.
Well, just holding on to your padre.
What's a padre?
Or dad in Spanish.
Or I'm not.
A padre. Or you're like, no, there's nothing worse. You know when you're like doing something, you're having your photo taken, you're not holding anything. Like, do you know, right?
I think at your wedding day is a bit different.
One of the reasons I always have to have a drink in my hand when I'm at a social event, even if it's just a glass of water, is purely because then, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with them?
Just hold them really still.
Just hold them
by
to
the
the
side
side,
of your body
pray,
and don't move them.
Pray. I don't I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's so true. Never thought about that.
What do you do with your hands? The Macarena? I don't know. Hey, Macarena! Aye! Someone commented on our most recent pod. If you haven't watched that, go and check it out. Link will be below or somewhere. And he just commented, Ian, thanks Ian, commented, rain on your wedding day is good luck because it symbolises the last tears the bride will shed for the rest of her life. Or it's the number of tears the bride will shed during her marriage.
You never know.
You never know. We have a new segment. Well, we're going to play a little game. Yay!
We love games.
And basically, it's gonna. What should we call it? Guess that song.
Oh, do that together?
Yeah.
Guess that song.
So we have basically. we have basically both chosen songs that we would want or we think would be good as an aisle wedding song.
Oh wait, I just chose one that was so outlandish that it couldn't possibly be an aisle song.
But
okay, good.
Made these songs into aisle versions. So walking down the aisle version.
So like any song, but
song.
like acoustic version.
And we've got to guess what the song is.
Okay, go. You go first. I've only got one. How many have you got?
I've got 3.
Brilliant.
I've got hello YouTube. Okay, so this is my first one.
I know the melody.
Imagine walking. A bit of slow-mo.
I have no idea what that song is.
Getting up to the aisle now. And this is when you're walking back up the aisle. When you said I do.
Is that Take On Me?
No!
Take on me.
I'll give you a clue.
Oh, I have the complete
No hair.
No air.
No hair.
Oh, is it Pitbull?
Yeah.
Oh, I could just completely guess that. Pitbull what?
Feel this moment. One. Should I play the real version?
Play the real version. We don't know what that is.
One day to go and I'll be in a castle golden.
Okay, I can kind of. I mean, if that was like a couple song, fluff. Make a wish. If that was an actual couple song, I don't think even just the original's fine.
Yeah, and then walking back up the aisle is the more upbeat
as
bit.
it gets really.
They want to feel this moment.
What a sentiment, guys.
Right, next one.
Next one.
Play along at home. Okay. Hattie knows it.
Why am I so crap at this game? I don't want to play this anymore. Can someone give me a clue?
Worldwide.
Pitbull. It's another Pitbull song. What? Stop it.
Any guess what it is?
No.
Guys, if you haven't guessed, I really like Pitbull.
About a week ago, I worked my ass off. I still can't play it though. So get up in this club, have me a good time. All the time of my life. Okay, yeah, I totally know that song.
Mr. Worldwide.
Right, shall I do my one?
I've got one more.
Oh,
do
go.
Yours.
No, you do yours.
Okay. Is this the right one? This is my favourite one. I would actually walk down the aisle to this song. I don't know if you'll know it.
I sit and wait. Does an angel? No.
That would be a good one though.
No idea.
It was.
No bloody idea
The
what
Loves
that
of
is.
My Life.
Huh? Love of Your Life? Harry Styles?
No, I would walk down the aisle to that song. No. Close.
If I could fly.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Pause it a second. Pause it a minute. You could actually walk down the aisle to that song.
I know,
though.
that's what I said. I would
Sorry,
walk
I
down
misread the
aisle.
rules of the game.
No, you can, like, it's the thing is, people wouldn't expect, like, this is a One Direction song, so people would be like, oh my god, who's that? And you're like, One Direction, and they're like, oh my god, why are you walking down the aisle to a One Direction song? Have you heard the song?
True.
Oh, the love of my life.
So this is my one. Wait, no, not yet.
I'm gonna be really annoyed. Will I know the song?
I hope so.
I recognise it. Lean on your back. Isn't that what? Lean on your back. Lean on your back. Is that what's it called? Your back.
From Cranium. Look, Gal Policy Cranium.
Work out your back.
Yeah, that one.
Work out.
Could you imagine? Sorry, 2 seconds. Ad break.
I don't know any of the rest of it apart from the
Guys and a drama.
lube it up.
Sis, what?
Now it's time for better, for worse.
For better.
Or
For worse.
the section of our pod where we tell you wedding trends that we think are for better or
For worse. We love this game. I love the game. Yay!
Yay!
Right, you go first, straight off the bat. Boom.
Straight off the bat. First dance. For better or for worse?
For better.
I think for worse.
Really? I'm sorry.
No.
I first dance is such an integral part of the day.
Do you know what I prefer? You know when people get the grooms to do like a
flash mob
flash mob.
vibe.
I would so much prefer that.
Yeah, it's still the first dance.
No, but I'm on about like the traditional.
Yeah, no, I think for better. I think, and also love a bit of a choreographed first dance, not like a cringe one. I think a nice bit practice in your living room the night before. Do all different things.
It is sweet. I just think it's very like tired tradition.
It is. And if you're nervous about it, and if that's something that's giving you
to do it.
such anxiety about your wedding day, scrap it.
Scrap it.
Scrap it.
Put it in the bin.
Pop it in the bin.
See you later.
Fruit tablescapes. Which, what I mean by fruit tablescapes is where you have all your tables laid out, and let's say you have like a green theme, so you have loads of foliage, you'll have grapes, you'll have limes, you'll have figs, you'll have all of it. I will insert picture here for reference, but fruit tablescapes, for better or for worse?
For worse.
Stop it.
Yeah, it just gives me 1800s vibes.
And that's what I love.
Like getting married in the castle, a week later Henry VIII's going to behead you. Do you know what I mean?
Like Hogwarts dinner.
Yeah, and like also like, are you going to eat the fruit? Probs not.
No, it's for show. I mean,
So
if you're
what's the
partial to a
point?
lime or a couple of grapes, I wouldn't be like, don't eat them.
And also like flies.
No, you can get those little flappy wing things. Make sure they're not there.
Yeah, but
They
they're
would
not
ruin
aesthetically
their
pleasing,
no, they
are
would ruin
they?
it actually. Okay, imagine this. Amalfi Coast. You do all of the traditional blue and white lemons.
Lemons understand.
We draw the lines at lemons.
We draw the line at lemons.
So
Lemons I get.
no fruit
I don't
tablescapes. Love,
want
love,
a
love,
big
love,
bunch
love.
of grapes. No.
Okay, next one.
Tiramisu, wedding cakes. For better or for worse?
Personally, for worse, only because I don't like coffee.
Okay, let me rephrase. Dessert cakes, dessert towers instead
Of
a
a wedding
traditional
cake.
wedding cake.
That for better.
Yeah.
Because I know you posted something recently and it was like a champagne tower, but inside were like mini trifles or
Mini
like
trifles,
mini cheesecakes or like mini tiramisus, like
Yeah.
you said. Or you have the big, huge, giant pavlovas.
Yeah, or people
That's
have
a
like
vibe.
cupcakes instead
Yeah.
of.
Love that.
I just think it's more personal because, like, if you don't like cake, don't have cake.
Yeah. I think the theme of everything is tailor it to exactly what you want. Traditions out the window. First dance out the window. All
Do
of
you
it
know
out the
what I
window. Just do
really
what
like?
is right for you as a couple.
Those like big raspberry cakes we've been seeing where you like decorate it yourself and you do like the icing sugar on and then you cut it.
Yeah, I
really
love
fun.
that. No, I love that. Yeah, for better.
For better.
So alternative wedding cakes
Slay.
for better. Mine is alternative aisles. So not your stereotypical family's aisle at the top register.
Like a circle aisle.
Like a circle aisle.
For better.
For better.
Big slay.
Shout it louder.
I just
For
think-
better.
I would prefer standing in the middle of people than in
So you
front.
have like a 360
yeah.
view, 100%. Because when you
can
are at
see
the top
me
of the
no, that sounds weird.
when you're at the top of the aisle and
I
you're
was-
facing that way, no one can see the front of you, which you've worked so hard
I
on.
was about to say you can see me from all angles, but that just sounded strange.
Oh
Do
my
you know what?
God.
You know what I mean? Like you can see the
Yeah,
full
but it
depth.
is true.
And then
Please
you-
tell me why you've not tried, you got ready all
I think
morning
if
for no one
you
to see you.
don't have amazing like backdrop that you want behind you for like, say if you're getting married on Lake Garda, you want to be in front of Lake
And you
Garda
want
with everyone
people
sitting,
to
and I want
see
you to
it.
look at it.
Yeah.
But if you're like just in like some garden
I
in the
think
middle, elevated, everyone
Stunning.
can see you.
Dreams
So
can
nice.
come true.
Yeah,
Yeah, love it.
love it.
And also, I love the ones that go in like an S shape. Stunning.
yeah,
And also, runway. So do you know where they are all like this and then your aisle's in the middle, but everyone's looking into the aisle from both sides? Runway. Go.
so can I see?
Yes, you can. Sorry.
I saw on TikTok, can you tell we're chronically online, one of the nicest, coolest weddings I've ever seen. I think I showed you where they had their wedding inside,
Yeah.
but their aisle was a runway.
Stunning.
Glass chairs the whole way down, the walls, projections of like old vintage weddings,
Yes.
old style weddings, famous people's weddings, all of this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like,
Incredible.
if Vogue had a wedding,
That's
it
what
would
it
be
would
that.
be. That's
and
what
it
we
was so
want.
if I find pictures, I'll put them on screen, but
Absolutely incredible.
so amazing.
So alternative aisles, we're both voting for better.
For better slay.
For better slay.
That's one above.
That we love that.
I have a question for this week.
Go.
My question this week is, what thing, or I was going to say substance, what is something you spent quite a lot of money on your wedding day or for your wedding day that you wish you didn't? What do you wish you spent less money on? That you spent less money on, or no money at all? Like you just wish you didn't.
Like
get
that
it.
one thing at your wedding that was just
like you wish
an unreasonable
you didn't
expense.
pay for a mime.
A mime.
It was the first thing that came to mind. Yeah. Let us know in the comments below or message us over on Instagram or TikTok. Shameless plug. That's all for today, guys.
So that was for better or for what the fuck?
What the fuck? How do you want to end this one?
I don't know.
See you later, babes.
Sarah, love.
They went where?
She did what?
You put it in who?
He did what with where with it?
He found the candlestick where?
Not the guy.